Alright, gonna show you guys how I call it making 2 rounds on a road. Harvest time here, it's been raining off and on today, but about perfect moisture, so I'm out cutting out roads and relaying them with my packer. I got my front dozer blade on too, and use that to cut the washboards out also, but they cut out pretty good right now with the amount of moisture we got. So I run just slightly articulated. I don't know if you can see that gauge, so I'm just into the green just a little bit, and then I run my right front tire on the crown of the road, and then I'm putting my windrow just across the center line. And had a subscriber ask me what kind of pitch I run on my moldboard. Well, when I take and pull in and I'm doing any kind of heavy cutting, I run so I can just barely see the tip of the bolts on the cutting edge. You really can't even see them hardly. But that seems like it gives a good cutting, and it really gets material rolling, and it gets it off the end of the blade. That's how I generally pull in my material, and I'll show you guys how I take and have my blade set when I blade the windrow off and all that good stuff as we go here. Got some really nasty big field stone in this hilltop here. You can hear the dozer blade banging into them. Well, looks like I popped that one out. That is the nice thing about that dozer blade with the carbide bits on. You get moisture like this and it'll actually hook them rocks and pop them right out of the road bed. That's kind of nice. So this township here, we take and mow. Well, they've mowed I think 3 or 4 times now, so that makes it really easy to see the edge of the road. But had a subscriber ask how I keep from undercutting the shoulder, and generally if a road gets pushed out, you will in essence, you know, make a little ridge out there. I recommend that you don't get too carried away, but you just got to kind of pay attention to that corner, you know, that tip of your blade. Make sure you're not undercutting it too much. If anything, I'll suggest you know, not undercutting the shoulder and just cutting the whole road and getting a bunch of material, and then try to lay that crown back into your road. Just was raining like 5 minutes ago, and now the sun's out. Gotta love South Dakota weather. And then I got my roller down behind me. Really like that. That does an excellent job sealing things up. I know most people, they'll go, why are you running your roller on the your cut pass? Well, it still seals up behind you, and it's adding compaction to your road base, and you got it on behind you, so why not use it anyway, is my theory. I'll actually cut this whole road all the way across, as you'll see in my video here. This is probably going to be a little longer video, but this is probably the easiest way I can show it on how I make 2 rounds on a road, and that's cutting the whole road bed all the way out and then relaying it. Takes quite a bit of time to do it that way, but it's the right way to do it, and you get a lot better finished product at the end when you do it this way. couple subscribers ask what I run for speed. I myself, I run between 5 and 5.5 mile an hour. I mean, heck, sometimes you can run 6 mile an hour, and it's all on your, what kind of conditions you're in, your road, condition, your experience level. I've been doing this, just about 14 years now. It doesn't bother me a bit to blade 5 mile an hour pulling in or doing anything. As long as your machine stays stable, you're perfectly fine. It's all on your experience level. You can definitely go too fast. You start going too fast to get the machine duck walking, or you'll end up getting it bouncing, and you don't want to do that. We're out here to smooth out the roads, not make them rougher. I don't know if you guys see that on camera, but we got a nice rainbow over here off to my right. Pretty cool to see that. Don't see that very often out blading. This road here, we actually had to completely rebuild it the spring of 18 and 19, I believe. This road was so bad I had to maintain it with a tractor and a box scraper. The road got so soft that I couldn't even get the blade on it. In fact, I actually got the blade stuck right in the middle of the road. That's pretty bad. Ended up having to take 1.5 miles of this road, and we had a farmer come over with a chisel plow and a tractor, and I had the box scraper, and we were just trying to dry the material out. That was the only way we were able to get this road drivable again, and then we re-graveled it. It's in pretty good shape now. That was a heck of a year that year. So as you can see from my controls, I really don't do much, blading. Once you have your moldboard set, you might have to make a few little adjustments, but generally you can kind of leave it alone. It'll take care of itself. getting to be about that 4 o'clock time, so people are getting off on a Friday and they'll be hauling ass back and forth by me. Always get a little nervous this time of year, or this time of day I should say. I've actually been hit a couple times over the last 3-4 years and get kind of nervous. Too many people playing around on their phones and not paying attention to what they should be. So I get out here, packed up to my apron. Hopefully traffic isn't too big of a pain in the butt here. It's pretty steady by the looks of it. So I'll just cheat and I'll go turn around in the ditch here right on the apron out of traffic. It is one nice thing, I got wide enough aprons here along the highway I can actually get turned around. Get my machine straightened out, bring my moldboard around here. So when I turn around, I roll my moldboard all the way up, or all the way back I would say, just to keep your cutting edge up as high as you can, keep that ground clearance. Relock my differential, drop my roller down, so now I'm cutting on my center line across to my shoulder here. Still got my blade pitch about where I normally had it for when I was pulling in. Rolled back pretty good, that way you get a good cutting action and you're getting that material discharging off of the side of the blade. You're not trying to carry anything, you're more just getting it to cut and fall off the end of the blade. Now when I cut a road out, I still follow this perspective, is I leave the windrow about a foot from the grass. That way I got plenty of room to sneak back in there and grab the windrow without it running out the end of the blade, and I don't have to pull a bunch of grass and stuff up on the road. Wrong time of year to be pulling grass in. It's 1st October today, and realistically we probably got the month of October, and if we're lucky, the month of November to get all of our roads dressed up before freeze up happens. Hoping to have another good fall this year. Last year I worked up to the week before Christmas, and that's definitely the longest I've ever worked in a year before we got froze out. And in fact I actually bladed every month last winter, so it's a pretty mild winter. I can get used to that. I don't mind plowing snow, but after about the first couple storms it gets kind of old, and yeah, snow plowing's fun, but blading's a lot easier. You don't have a strict timeline and you're not out in the middle of the night, and a lot less stressful anyway. Big old rock. Plenty of rocks in this township, unfortunately. going into harvest. Well, we're in full harvest mode right now for a lot of farmers in the area. Rain slowed them up a couple days now, but they've been going at it pretty hard. You can tell a lot of the trucks have been on the roads. They get them pushed out, knock the crown out of them, and then you got washboards on the intersections or pretty much any place where they start and stop. So a lot of times what I'll have to do is I call it making 2 rounds, and that's cut the whole road bed out, get a bunch of material, and then once I have it on this side here, I will I'll take and grab this big windrow, spread it, making my 4 to 5% crown from this shoulder here to my center line, and then I'll take the from my center line across, building that 4 to 5% crown in there, pretty much rebuilding your road top, and everything's all cut out, and when you relay it, it'll be nice and smooth, and hopefully with the good moisture, and if you got any kind of good material, you should have a road that's gonna last, you know, 2-3 weeks ideally. Yes, it does take a lot more time to do it this way, but this is the best way I've found to get a good road at the end of the day. A lot of times you get paid by the hour, so in fact I've been out here, I got started right at noon today, and it's just 4 o'clock, and so far I've only gotten 3 miles done, but I've been cutting everything out and relaying it. So yeah, it burns up the time clock in a hurry, but the extra time you do spend on a road, it definitely shows, and you got a lot better finished product at the end of the day. Don't know too many people that'll complain about it taking a little more extra time, as long as the roads are in good shape. I'm also very surprised on how much longer I can keep blading with having compaction behind me. In all honesty, if I didn't have a roller behind me, I probably wouldn't keep blading right now, because one more shower and this stuff could turn into slop without it being compacted. But with me having a packer on the back, I can seal this stuff all up nice and tight, and even if it does rain, it doesn't matter because it just sheds right off. rocks again. I'd love to be able to dig these things out, but some of them are the size of a Volkswagen, so we generally just keep covering them up with gravel, and hopefully you don't get to bang into them for a couple of years before they come up again with the freeze and thaw cycle. Pick my packer up here, and then I'll get turned around. Get backed up here. Now, since I got a bigger windrow, what I do is I run my blade back pitched just about straight up and down, because I'm going to be working with quite a bit of material, and I'm articulated over halfway. I'll lock my differential. Get my blade adjusted accordingly here as I start off. Get my packer down. Now I'm shooting for that 4% crown, obviously. So I'm just slightly cutting on the outside shoulder, and I'm leaving probably an inch or two on the center line and just across. So as you can see, my left front tire is right on the center line. My right front tire is running just about on, just right up next to my windrow. I generally don't articulate a whole lot, but when you're working with a bunch of material like this, it's in your favor. You can run a lot shorter angle on the blade, and it keeps that material discharging off the end of the blade a lot better. So So you can see I'm making very small changes as I come up my hill here. Make sure I don't undercut my shoulder. You want to have problems taking undercuts your shoulders going up a hill. You'll create a gutter and you'll have a big mess. It'll start washing down the edge and not good for anybody. So I should show people here, but the I got a 140 M3 and it actually has the wrong slope meter in it. This is in degrees, and to be on 4%, it should be on in between the second and third notch on this degree meter. A lot of people overlook that, so make sure you're in between them first two notches. 2 to 3 notches is right at 4 to 5%. So it looks like my battery is gonna die, so I stop, change out a battery on the GoPro, and I will resume video. Hey, got my battery changed there. So as I'm going down the hill, I'm doing the same thing here. I'm just making sure I'm not leaving any material out the end of the blade on the corner. I'm not undercutting it by any means, so I'm just making little adjustments. To keep from making an edge out there. As you can see, I got quite a bit of material here, but just coming out the end of my blade, I'm pretty much laying half of that down on this side of the crown. So when I come to blade off, I'll dang near lay all that material back down. I'm still leaving a little bit of a render, but I'm starting to kind of lighten up on the maintenance render for the year right now, because, well, we only got a month or two left of blading, so I'm trying to start losing everything, and when I got moisture, I like to lay it all back down and get it packed in, and hopefully not have to disturb it before the end of the fall blading. Like I even got the school bus up here now. Nice thing is I go slow enough, I won't even have to stop for them. The kids will already be off the bus by the time I get there. Just got where I banged that rock, the machine started getting unstable. That's why I'm a big proponent of not using throttle lock. If you would have had throttle lock on, you would have never got that machine to come out of bouncing. I always run everything with my foot feed. That's how I've kind of always done it. But yeah, the machine got unstable. I was able to let off right away, slow it back down that mile an hour or whatever, and now the machine stabilized back out, and away I go. Come up, pack all the way to my apron, pick up my packer. I'll actually straighten my machine out here. I got just a little bit of material up on the apron, so sometimes that'll happen. So all I'll do is I'll just put my blade down lightly and just back drag it off of the apron here. Put my roller back down quick. That way I can roll right up my apron here. I really wish they wouldn't put these damn signs here. Make it very easy to turn around. So I've got myself spun around here now. Now you notice I rolled my blade all the way ahead. Me as an operator, it's kind of my preference. When I take and finish my roads, I like being able to see my cutting edge all the way across the moldboard. So what I do is I roll my blade all the way forward and then just take and pitch it up just a tad. So that way it's not all the way forward. And the reason I like that is it gives it kind of a little bit of a packing action. And it's just like a knife, you know, spreading butter on a piece of bread. You don't leave your knife all the way up to get it to spread nice. You roll it all the way ahead. That's my terminology that I use to explain to people how I do it that way. So you want that nice smooth texture, so I roll it ahead to get that rolling action on the blade, and it kind of seals that top all the way across. So now that the bus got out of my way here, I'll come up, set my blade down, get the packer down here quick. I'll get my blade going to like my 4%. I'm leaving a little small maintenance ring off to that side. That way I got something to work with when I come back and blade this. I'll probably blade this road at least 2 to 3 more times yet this fall before freeze up happens. And how I line up blading the ring off is right now I'm running with my machine down the center of the ring. That's so I have something to line up with. That keeps the guy driving a lot straighter. And then my left side tandems are actually running right on top of my crown pretty much. And then generally, pretty much once you have your blade set, blade and ring up, you generally don't have to make too many adjustments. You know, if I see a spot that I need to add a little more crown, I'll leave a little bit more material in the middle or put down my outside edge to build that crown up. But for the most part, once you have that set to build your crown back into the road, you're a lot better off. You just kind of leave it alone and let it take care of itself. trying to add a little more crown there. It wasn't quite enough. Once I get down to the end of the mile, I'll hop out and show you guys what it looks like on the finished product of the road with the packer down behind me. Gives it a nice sealed up texture, and the traffic is more apt to drive the whole road versus just pick 2 tracks and stay there. I'm a firm believer in having a packer behind your motor grader. It makes a huge difference on the longevity of the road, and it makes an operator's job way easier, being able to compact each lift when they're trying to build crown up in a road versus no compaction at all. You're pretty much just putting it out there and hope like heck the traffic drives it in. So having the packer and right kind of moisture, you're very capable of doing a nice job with the blade. I think probably the most common thing I see on people operating like a joystick machine is they try oversteering. You don't have to touch that joystick much. Just ever so slightly bump it back and forth, and you can drive nice and straight with these machines. You start moving it around all the time, you're gonna be all over the place with it. Kind of nice just to be able to tap it back and forth and your arms are relaxed, and makes a huge difference. I know I was operating my lever and steering wheel control machine about 2 weeks ago, and I could really feel it in my back looking forward over the controls, and my shoulders were bothering me from, you know, running the levers and everything. So you definitely notice it when you switch back and forth to a joystick controlled machine to a conventional controlled machine. A lot more hand movement goes on, you're a lot tireder at the end of the day. So definitely love the ease of control and the new technology as it comes out to us. Makes it a lot easier to work 12-13 hour days when you're comfortable and relaxed. That's probably another thing I'll talk to on your hilltops. I see a lot of operators, they'll naturally do what traffic does when they come to a big hill, is they will drive out to the sides and they widen their roads out as they go up the hill. I don't recommend doing that. It changes your whole profile of your road and everything. Just keep driving as straight as you can and keep that windrow where it should be at. I had a guy was complaining to me. He says that the roads weren't wide enough, so if you can't drive on a 22 to 24 foot road, I don't know how much wider you want. He said, well, up the hills you gotta slow down. And I said, well, you shouldn't be driving 60 mile an hour on gravel anyway. If you can't get by with driving 40, 45 and being cautious, you probably shouldn't be out there in the first place. Pick my packer up, and then I'll back up onto this intersection here, get out of this vehicle's way. Let them hurry up and get on with their daily life. I'll actually hop out here and show you guys the road. I gotta hop out and throw a rock in the ditch anyway here. So this is my packer. You can tell the road's definitely got good moisture. It's picking up on the tires, but it's sealing in nice. Traffic's really getting heavy. Don't anybody run over this stone. Not sure how it got there. We'll throw her in the ditch. So this is what the road looks like once it's completely compacted. Got my maintenance renderer here. Nice solid surface, all sealed up. Everything looks good. Well, hopefully this is probably going to be one of my longer videos. Hopefully you guys like it, learn something. If you got any video suggestions, comments, questions, put them down in the comments. Like to have everybody like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll keep the videos coming. Thanks for watching.